Well, it's hard enough for you and me to escape the digs at our humanity, because we don't look right for the latest scenes when we can't afford to buy the latest jeans. So what happens then to all the kids who miss out? In all the stakes, they have no clout, because they've got some sort of disability. Can't boast about their virility.
What about the girl who can't even talk, doesn't even know she's supposed to walk? When she doesn't act in any way we know, do we laugh and tease, do we put on a show? Do we get scared and run, think what if it's us? Or come on real nice and make a big fuss? And what about the grind of day after day, trying to relate when she won't even play? Do we take the time? Do we take the time? Do we take the time to find out who she is? Do we try to work out what integration is?
The future that I want for Debbie is to be living in a community with people around who are her friends, who take her places and involve her in what they're doing, and who don't see her as somebody who doesn't belong there. Part of the process that we're going through to bring that about is the program that we have Deb in at the kids' school in Fremantle, which is a little independent school. And Deb goes along there one day a week and spends the day with ordinary, everyday, able-bodied kids. And they take her places and do things with her, and she's involved in what they're doing.
Can I take Debbie?
Certainly.
Debbie came to Kids 3 years ago, and since then we've tried really hard to get her to learn how to do things like communicate with us.
Debbie. Debbie. Hi, Deb.
And in the morning was more of a quiet scene where we'd read and, you know, get her to look at books and play with blocks. We did a lot of block work where she knocked down blocks, which was really good, and puppets. And in the afternoon it was more physical things where she'd go to the park and we'd push her around and, you know, show her coloured balls and try to get her to catch them. And after a period of time, the kids started to lose energy with working with Debbie because they weren't sure what they were doing was helping Debbie, and they weren't seeing any clear results. So we had a break from Debbie for a while. And then Margaret, our school principal here, arranged for Nell, an integration assistant, to come in and work with Debbie. And she's shown the kids what to do with Debbie and how to train with Debbie and work with Debbie, and I think it's really good for the kids because it's much easier for them.
Hi there. Nice looking. Good looking.
The other kids are very attractive to Debbie. That she is immediately attracted to them. She is interested, she's aware of them, and they have a lot of power to teach her. As soon as they come up to her and say, look at this, Debbie, you know, she's immediately ready to look.
You really want to get her attention.
Look, Debbie.
Good looking, Deb. Good girl, good girl. Again.
Look, Debbie.
Good looking, Debbie. Put it up in front of your face.
Look, Debbie, look. I looked at it for a long time.
Good looking.
Oh, she do.
Okay, Sarah.
We work with her for 10 minutes, and then right at the end of it she gives us a 3-second look, and we can all see she's given us a 3-second look, and we all know that that's unusual. And not only that, she gave us 4 in that day. That's very unusual. So they can get the feedback back for their efforts, and with peer tutoring they're going to get more of that feedback back.
When I first met Debbie, I thought that she wasn't really, like, I was kind of scared. I was scared, and I didn't really know, I didn't really want her to come. But then when I saw her and I got to know her, I liked her. She's like a real girl. She's taught me how to, like, not to just think that just because she's got something wrong with her, that to hate her.
Pippa, why don't you show Debbie the rabbits?
I found it scary to see someone like that, as helpless as she is, because she is quite helpless, and I thought, how can somebody continue on living like that, not being able to do things for themselves like we do things for ourselves? And I thought it was very scary, yeah. But I've overcome that now, you know.
Tell her what the rabbit's name is.
Debbie, this is Sparky the rabbit.
Just look at her as a magnificent person, still fighting her way through everything, yeah.
She's actually behaving more like normal people now. She's looking around a lot, you know, and you can see that she's that everything, this school is familiar to her. She knows where everything is now. What I find hard is feeding her, because I pick up the sandwich, break a bit off, and she just grabs the whole thing and stuffs it in her mouth, and I have to get it out again. That's the thing I found the hardest.
I learned just to be free with someone. It's just like a normal person to be talking with and to do things with. Just good fun.
She likes people communicating with her. Well, she seems to anyway. I did get frustrated at first, but after a while you just, you know, think, well, it's not so easy for her to learn this, just be a little bit more patient.
I don't get frustrated at all. It's just like, it's easy to work with.
I found I, started realising things like, realising what Debbie liked and things like that she liked, the exhilaration of going fast and stuff like that. She liked, having attention paid to her and people being kind to her in general. Sort of like being a normal person, really.
Well, I've learnt quite a bit with working with Debbie. I've learnt that everyone has to be treated equal and they're no different. I mean, just because they have a disability, you still have to treat them like they're a person, and it's really good for them if you treat them like they're a person. I find it much easier to look at people that are disabled now and say, I don't even think anything of it now. Before I'd just stare and think, oh my gosh, But now, since Debbie's been here, it's been really easy to deal with. I find it a lot easier to deal with. And if I was ever put in a situation where I had to look after a disabled child or a person, I'd find it quite easy, I think.
We spend some time of the day simply being with her, doing exactly what she does, getting under her skin, if you like, doing it and feeling it, understanding why she's enjoying it, what's fun for her about it. When we've been doing that, sometimes the most extraordinary sense of shared communication happens. It's a very bonding thing. It's given me a lot of insight into her about how much fun she has being alive, and it's given the children a lot of fun. Also, it provides her with an experience of shared communication with a lot of other people.
One for Lara. One for Sarah. One for Pippa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For a person working with Debbie, it's useful to expect the sky to have a very open and wide kind of an attitude towards her. Anything could happen, and to set things up so that it's more likely to. But it's also useful to have the attitude that if Debbie didn't change anything one iota, then that's okay. We can still have fun, we can still enjoy ourselves. She's still enjoying herself. She's still a valuable person to have.
It takes different style and takes a long while, but in this rat race she too deserves a place. There's a lot to learn from a different way of being. It can teach us now a different way of seeing.
For a real long time the people who were different were hidden away, so we didn't have to see them. That means that now they're more different still, because neither side learned any mixing skill.
But it seems to me that we're not the human race until everybody has found themselves